Bears fans, what is going on today? Football Sunday. And of course, everything looked great starting off, but we end up losing by a final score 31-28. On a day that seemed like the Bears were just plain world beaters. It wasn't to be. All the goodwill that was built up in the first half, Justin Fields looking like who we thought he was when we drafted him. The run game with Khalil Herbert looking good. DJ Moore coming through as the number one receiver. Cole Kmet doing his thing. And in the end, we end up losing. I don't even know what to say, Bears fans. We gave it the old college try, and we still came out on the losing end. And there's going to be a lot of calls for it, and I'm all for it. The coaching staff in those final plays of the fourth quarter, they got to go. You got it 4th and 1, well within range of kicking the field goal, and you go for it. Twice. You lose a timeout, come back to the same play after you first tried to draw them off sides. The Denver defense was disciplined for the one time this whole game, and they held true. And then calling a timeout, you still don't kick the field goal when you're well within range to take the 3-point lead. And then, then you put it in your defense's hand to try to finish out the game. Or at least, you know you're going to get the ball back at least once to either go for the tie or go for the win. So, let's start from the beginning. All right, Bears. Now look, we start off the game like we've been playing at a high level, and everyone is on the page. Great way to start the game. Started with Justin Fields. Now, I'm not sure if any of you saw this coming, but to start an NFL game 11 for 11, that is amazing. Amazing. Justin Fields looked so good starting everything off. I mean, he was what we've always said he could be, should be, and most importantly, all he had to do was just show it. And through 3 games, we got nothing. Well, we got a little bit, but, it did not look well for Justin Fields going into this game. And to start off 11-11, he looked like a man possessed. And the good thing about it, we were throwing the ball very well. DJ Moore, very, very active into the offense to start things off. And then, Cole Kmet, he's given us everything. He got his contract extension. He looked good. Look, it's not about the money. I get it. But he was rewarded for play that we were hoping we would get every game. But it just wasn't meant to be, I guess. But in this game, starting off in that first half, the Fields, the Moore, the Kmet, and we were even doing our best to run the football. And Luke Getsy, I don't know what happened there, but shoot. He looked like he wanted to be here and make Justin Fields look good and the whole offense look good. And look, speaking of the offense, our offensive line was playing great to start off this game. Kudos to them for the first half. And note I said the first half. Now look, I've been the number one criticizer of our offensive line through these 4 games. And they started off looking great. It's got to be something said for our offensive line to not have you guys' names being called out on the TV, you know? So kudos to them, like I said. But the penalties started coming middle of the second quarter, and then it looked like they just started piling up. Darnell Wright, I think he had 3 penalties, 2 holding, 1 false start. And we can't have that. I've talked about Braxton Jones, who's on IR right now, having penalties at the left side. It was just, it's too much. Something that we can't overcome on a consistent basis. Now, let's talk about this defense. We're getting pressure. DeMarcus Walker getting pressure. Yannick Ngakoue getting pressure. And the only sack I believe we had on the day, Pickens and Robinson, defensive tackle, defensive end, combined for a half a sack each. Russell Wilson. So, you know, we came to play today. All 3 phases. Even though special teams didn't get a whole lot of action, you know, we still look decent. Now that defense, that first half, like I say, going into the third, they look decent. Really, you know, stopping the run on a couple of key third downs. But you just knew at some point they were going to revert back to what they were, a bad defense. And it happened. Midway through the third quarter, they did not look good. They started giving up big plays. The run game for Denver started getting right. And then, as usual, they couldn't get off the field on third downs. And I got to say it. Denver's offense wasn't that great today. Multiple penalties on them today to stall drives. But when you have a 3rd and 26, and then I believe a 3rd and 16, and you still give up 20 plus yards on pass plays. Now, the rook Tyrell, hey, he had some good plays. But for the most part, him and Stevenson were always 1 to 2 steps behind the receivers for Denver. Not sure what we can do about that. I mean, you can coach it as well as you can. But there's got to be a way to get this defense all on one page at the same time for 4 quarters. Heading into that 4th quarter, ladies and gentlemen, we had momentum. We had plenty of timeouts. The run game was running. The pass game was hitting. Penalties started coming. Offense just started to sputter. Now, when you're up 28-7 at the half, you run the football. We all know it. Now look, we did our best to run in that second half. We looked darn good. Khalil Herbert, kudos to you. I have not been the fan of Herbert. I've been pounding the table for Foreman through all 4 games. Foreman was a healthy scratch today, along with Chase Claypool. Now look, Claypool said some things this week about him not being put in a good position by the coaches. Whether or not that played in him being a healthy scratch today, I don't know. But obviously, during the game, reports coming out on Twitter that, hey, Bears are looking for either a 5th or 6th rounder for him. So, hey, the GM doing what he thinks he needs to do as far as Claypool. But I'm telling you, what is left on the field is a solid team. Now, the penalties, like I say, we were doing good. And I have to give it to Lucas Patrick and Cody Whitehair today. They were not getting blown up as they were in the previous 3 games. Got to give it to them. Now, Borum, our left tackle for today, getting his second start, I believe, he did a decent job up until he started wanting to be the penalty machine. Him and Darnell Wright over there on the right side, they're going back and forth, see who can get, a penalty to slow things down. Who can do the worst at what time during the game. So I'm telling you, Bears fans, you want to talk about a person who was probably sitting here with high blood pressure, that would be me. Because watching this game today, being so elated in that first half to just the final few minutes of the game, it's just unbelievable. Unbelievable how the Bears finished. How do you lose 31-28 when you're up 28-7? How? You're not supposed to. But look, starting about middle of the third quarter, that Bears defense, you could tell they were getting tired. And I don't know how. Where was the energy, Joe, fellas? The offense was doing their thing. All you had to do is just hold. Get off the field. Hold Denver to some 3 and outs. You did it in the first half, but in the second half, couldn't do it. You looking at the defensive tackles, hands on their waist, they're tired, breathing heavy. But then again, Denver's defensive line was doing the same thing. But at the end of it, our defense, with some solid guys on the defensive line, the linebacker crew, couldn't get it done. Plain and simple. So I don't know what's going to happen going forward. I pray that we continue to get healthy, because it was just a bad look for our defense today, starting in the middle of the third quarter. The fourth quarter, the defense was discombobulated, plain and simple. They didn't know what was going on. I mean, Russell Wilson didn't even pick on guys. I mean, we had 3 starters out, and we can't even say that they were taken over by Russell Wilson. I mean, they weren't even really being tested. It was just that the run game was solid. The middle of the field, as usual, being open. And Terrell and Stevenson, our corners, being 1 to 2 steps behind the receivers for Denver. That's got to change, ladies and gents. And Matt Eberflus, if he doesn't get, fired this week, I mean, we got a game on Thursday, so it probably won't happen. Bears have never let a coach go in season, ever, in 104 years of being a franchise. So I don't see it again or anytime soon. But there has to be some accountability with this coaching staff. And I don't think we're going to get it. I don't think that we're going to hear how you don't take the points when you're up with just over 3 minutes left in the game. Now, Bears fans, I don't know about you, but I'm sick. I'm sick of this defense. We're the Chicago Bears, and our defense is bad. Not supposed to happen. Like I say, the offense looked very good today, especially in the first half, but to put up 0 points in the second half. Now look, I don't know what happened. DJ Moore, we were hitting him, trying to get him the ball in the first half. He was very successful, but that second half, I think on one of the plays where he caught the ball and landed out of bounds, he hurt his back. So that could have had something to do with it, because he looked like he was walking or running gingerly. So I don't know. We're going to have to get some medical reports out on that. But in the end, we couldn't score points in the entire second half after putting up 28 in the first half. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. But look, positives. We've been talking about it. Justin Fields entering his third year. No 300-yard game, right? There's been a criticism of him. He can't throw for 300 yards. Well, he did it today. And I believe He was 16 of 17 after completing his first 16 passes, setting a record for the Chicago Bears as a franchise. 16 of 16 in the first half record, right? Now, ended up 16 and 17 because they just had to go for a Hail Mary at the end of the half, but that's for another day. But he had over 234 yards at the half. Can't be mad at that at all. But look, he finished 28 of 35 for 335 yards, 4 touchdowns with an interception, sacked 4 times, got to cut that down, with a 132.7 rating. Hey, he came to play, he did well, but it didn't end well. Moving on to our rushing game, Khalil Herbert, 18 rushes, 103 yards, no touchdowns. Justin Fields, 4 rushes, 25 yards. Tyler Scott, 2 for 19. Roschon Johnson, 5 for 13. I mean, we tried to run the football today, and it looked good, right? DJ Moore, 8 receptions for 131 yards and a touchdown. 9 targets. So, we were trying to get him the ball. Hey, 1 drop pass. You can't be too mad at it, right? Cole Kmet, 7 for 85 yards and 2 touchdowns. Looked very well. And then Khalil Herbert, 4 receptions, 19 yards and a touchdown. Hey, we got positives. We had positives in this game. But to have all that positivity, we lost it in the fourth quarter. Don't know how, Bears fans. Now my voice is a little rocky because it might have been a little screaming a little bit. But I mean, the Bears for 2.5 quarters looked like an NFL team that was ready for this new NFL that we have right now. Who knows what it's going to look like on Thursday. We got a short week. Got the Washington Commanders coming up, as I say, Thursday night. Big questions about this coaching staff this week going forward. So Ryan Poles, our GM, I say to you, I hope you're looking for some new coaches for next year. We've got 2 right now, top 5 draft picks. We have to do something. So with that, Bears fans, as always, hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the notification bell. Let's talk about it right down there in the comments. I'm serious with this. I don't know what to say. We should not have lost that game today. We should not have. No way. No way we should have lost. But we did. Bears fans, I'm going to see you in the next one. And as always, hey, peace.